Welcome back to the Chasing Tone podcast. This, of course, is Brian Wampler, back again with Blake from the Tone Mob podcast today. And today we talk about NAMM, and we'll get right into that right now.
Oh, boy, we're recording. This is great. Hi, Brian.
Hi, Blake.
How's it going?
This is weird.
How do you like standing there looking at me right in my beautiful nose?
I've talked to you a million times, but I've never looked at you while talking to you.
No, especially not in this close of quarters, because we're huddled around this fancy little iPhone mic here at NAMM trying to block out orchestra music, so we're gazing longingly at each other while recording this.
It is. It's kind of romantic.
It's bromantic.
It is.
It's totally bromantic.
What we need is a nice candle, you know?
Like maybe a battery-powered, or candle-powered battery power supply? Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes. Which is a real thing.
From Zvex.
Zvex is making he loves his candle power, and so he's powering pedals with candles now.
Well, you know, if the grid ever goes down,
If it does,
Zvex will survive
he
the
will,
catastrophe.
and we will be able to still play, you know, all of his wonderful pedals and all of your pedals. In fact.
Maybe he'll make a power supply from a candle for like amplifiers.
I don't see why not.
'Cause
Anything's possible.
He's well on the way there.
He totally is.
You know what I mean? So when the apocalypse happens, everybody head over to Zvex's house and bring a guitar.
Yes.
It's a jam.
It is. It sounds great. I seen some Instagram clips of him where he was at his house, like snowed in, and he was like, "Well, we're gonna talk about the history of Zvex in these short little Instagram clips," and it was pretty awesome.
I missed that.
Yeah, it's good, but I'm sure they're still up somewhere unless he deleted them.
Yeah, probably not. But to check it out.
Yeah. So how's NAMM going for Mr. Wampler?
Well,
we're on the last day. We should
last
say
day.
It's Sunday. We're off in a hall, and everyone's probably looking at us really weird because we got a camera. Hi, camera. And we're sitting here talking into a black box. So
your arm's gonna get tired holding that for a while.
It is going to get tired because we tried to find a table, but instead my hand is going to be a table. So, whatever. It's NAMM. You do what you can.
Yeah. So it's been nice one day so far. It's rained every other day. It's raining right now.
Currently, yes.
Did you get out in the sun and enjoy that? The day was sunny?
So we went to Disneyland for a couple hours with the family on the first day, and then come back into NAMM to do the NAMM stuff, and that's pretty much my only dosage of sunshine. I come down from Portland to hang out in the rain, apparently, is what I did.
I walked here in the sun, and that was it.
From Indiana?
No. From the hotel, which is about a mile away. So I did get out and see the sun a little bit.
Nice.
But then when I came out, it was dark.
Nothing.
So,
It was all done.
yeah.
Well, that's unfortunate, but it is NAMM.
It is NAMM.
It's to be expected.
It's basically when we fall off the face of the earth for a week.
Completely.
Like, seriously.
Yes. It's kind of weird. Unless you're Scott at Stringjoy, in which case he's will still answer your email, apparently. He's like, after NAMM, I gotta go answer emails. I'm like, you're at NAMM, dude. Like just go off the grid for a little bit.
I still try to answer. I answer the important emails. So, you know, if it's the we're going to run out of these capacitors in 3 months. What do you want to use? I'm like, that can wait until I get back.
Yep.
But if it's oh crap, I got a gig and my pedal stopped working.
I'm sorry, bro.
Those still get answered. Right?
Yeah. That's why you didn't answer my email. I was like, Brian, I'm out of Cheetos in the pantry. I'm flying down to NAMM because you didn't stock up. I'm tired of sitting on your couch.
Why didn't you fill the pantry before?
Exactly. So we've been over this and over this. You'd think you'd figured it out by now. Oh, let's see. More NAMM related things. What you guys came out with a new distortion.
The Dracarys.
The Dracarys.
Yes.
Yes. I remember we were trying to name that for a while.
That's right. You were in on that one.
I was, and I didn't. All of my names were good, and they were taken.
You're
already.
like, let's call it Metal-stortion.
Yeah.
Right.
Metastortion.
Metastortion.
Yeah, Metastortion. Because I wanted it to be like metaphysical in a sense. And you were like, that's dumb.
Like, no, we got to call it the Plextor Shinto.
Because that's what it sounds like.
Like, that's equally stupid.
That
you think so?
No.
Oh, I was gonna say
it does
I don't
not
think
sound
it's
like
okay
that at all. No, it sounds like tear your head off. That's what it sounds
I
like.
think so. We'll see what's going on there. Is you have multiple gain stages, using op amps, but still using the multiple gain stages. So
tell me more.
Well, see, I'm trying to remember what exactly it is. So it's non-inverting into an inverting into an inverting into an EQ, and there's diodes to ground in there somewhere. Switches change the diodes. which would be the tight and
Open.
Open.
Mhm.
Thank you. I forgot what
I
we
just
did with
played it. That's the only reason I remember.
And then that goes, after the EQ, we go out to the volume pot.
Mhm.
Volume pot controls the level.
No.
It controls the
No
level
way.
of the effect.
No
it's
way.
a new. We totally revolutionized the pedal industry with this effect, with this feature on an effect.
Yeah, no one's ever put a volume control on a pedal, ever. That's cool.
We're gonna patent that.
Are you?
In the process, yeah.
Well, good luck. I wish you the best of luck in that endeavor of trying to patent the pedal output. I'm patenting something. I'm gonna patent treble.
Tone.
Yeah, I'm patenting tone. It's in my name, Tone Mob. It's there, so nobody can use that word anymore. Let's see. I don't know how much out and about you've got to do. What has been? You've been a little bit
A
out.
little bit, yeah. I mean,
Anything grabbed your attention?
someone else asked me that this week, and I'm like, there's some cool things that I've seen, but for the most part, I mean, you can't get too far out there, or it's just going to be wacky.
Yeah.
I was introduced to. I can't talk much about this. I probably shouldn't bring it up, but I was introduced into a new possible format of guitar pedal. And it's not enough. I guess it has a pedal component to it, but it's a different way of incorporating effects.
Okay.
And
A different effect format. Basically.
Yeah. And it was very interesting. But like I told the guys, I think it's going to be so far. It's going to be so different than what the guys used to. I mean, I don't see it. I don't see that format catching on. But the engineering behind it, that's what excited me. I'm like, that's a really smart idea. Maybe if you figure out a way to change it into something that's maybe more like Axe FX-ish or something.
Right.
Then that would be cool. Sort of like Axe FX using real tubes.
Right. Okay.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So that'd be pretty cool.
So it's almost you can't talk too much about it, but it's
Right.
almost like a modular type platform thingy maybe, or maybe you shrug your shoulders and look at me and say I don't know what it is.
It's a different thing.
It's a thing, and that's all we're gonna say about it. It's a thing, and you've never experienced it before. And I guess I don't know what he's talking. I really don't know what he's talking about.
But I guess my point is that it was a little too far out there. You know what I mean? And but the engineering behind it's really cool.
Cool.
So it would be kind of exciting.
Interesting.
Yep.
Let's
So
see.
what else is cool have I seen? Let me think here. I don't know. I mean, like.
Did you happen to get down to the Chase Bliss booth?
I talked to Joe for just a minute, but I didn't have a chance to play anything.
I was excited about this pre-NAMM, and it takes a lot for me to get excited about an overdrive pedal these days. And everyone has seen this
Because
play
they're not
now.
a fuzz.
Because they're not a fuzz. But this one is, so it's cool. He came out with the Brothers. It's just called Brothers, not the Brothers, but Brothers, and it's an overdrive in the Chase Bliss sense. So crazy control. It's actually two different circuits in parallel, or not, or you can swap them and just
series or parallel.
Yep, a crazy amount of control, and you can flop the order because one's like JFET based, and I don't want to speak out of turn, but I think the other one's transistor based.
Okay.
So they're two completely different circuits, and they were designed to complement each other. And I played around with it for a little while, and it sounded really, really awesome.
Cool.
So, and it'll be interesting because I watched their teaser video, and they were like, we never thought we were going to do a drive pedal because we're Chase Bliss, and that's not what we do. But
it's hard to put tap tempo on an overdrive.
Yeah, exactly. But they made you're just going to have to look at the details because it's way over, super complicated. Not overcomplicated, but
It's Chase Bliss.
Yeah.
In the Chase Bliss cool way.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
So many different routing options and different EQ options, and each drive section can be like a boost, overdrive, or a fuzz, and you can blend them in all kinds of different ways. It's super,
that sounds
super
unique.
awesome. Yeah.
Sure.
So that's one of the coolest things I played with. I'm gonna go back and play with your amp, and I already heard some other guys playing it better than I do, so I'm pretty sure that I'm gonna like it quite a bit.
Did you bring a fuzz to check it out with? Let's see if it works with fuzz.
You got a Velvet.
I do, but that's not like your big muff though, or your whatever you like this week.
I already gave away the fuzzes I brought, so.
Did you really?
I did. I'm sorry.
And you didn't even offer one to me.
I only brought two.
I know, I'm one.
I gave one. You didn't come to the pizza party. You would have had a chance to win.
That's true.
You would have came to the pizza party. Everyone pulled numbers out of a hat, and somebody won. And his name's Donovan, and he's super cool. And
Well, congratulations, Donovan. You took my damn pedal.
Okay, I'll get you one. I should have brought 3. The other one I got to another guy. You're one of the guys I've said, I'm going to get you one of these. And but I gave it to a guy who I told before you that I was going to get you one of these, so I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, you could always just go back on your word and say, I'm sorry, you don't get it now.
I have one. It's just not here.
I'm just giving you.
I know you don't really have very many pedals, so...
No, I just collected my second one.
Your second pedal, just the other day?
It's a Boss SD1. First one's a DS1, so I got the distortion. Now I've got the overdrive. So I'm
What's
pretty much
Boss?
set. Boss is a brand new brand new brand. Just new here at the show here, showing for the first time.
For the first time.
Yeah. But pretty cool stuff. I think it's going to catch on.
I think so. They got a good format that I think is going to work out.
I think so.
For people.
I think so.
In the long run, I think it's going to go well for them.
We'll see. I mean, as long as people don't start modifying them or something
That
stupid.
That would be an atrocity.
I know.
Can you imagine people modifying Boss pedals?
It's crazy.
Like maybe even making a business out of it.
I know. It's just nuts. Next thing, people will be modifying tube screamers or something
No way.
stupid.
What's a tube screamer?
Well, that came out last year.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a small company called Ibanez, and Maxon actually is, and so they're somehow related. I don't know how.
This is NAMM 1977.
I don't know how because
Brian and Blake.
I'm not a psychologist or chemist. Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
In
all seriousness, I did go upstairs to the Boss booth. Did you go up there?
No, I did not.
They actually have
I haven't been upstairs yet.
They're all the way at the top, the 300 level, and they have a Boss room, which is a first for them. They have not done that before, I guess, according to the guys I talked to there.
I don't remember.
I think Roland itself has been up there, but I think Boss has always been downstairs. I could be wrong, but that's what I was under the impression of. But they have every Boss pedal made in a lineup from, I think they started in 77 all the way to this year.
Really?
And, and
that's cool.
It's really cool. And they had a really neat lineup of, I just took a look, a series of Instagram stories, going along the line, and paid extra close attention to the metal zone. Because,
Did you ask them so how many different changes in the metal zone have you guys played over the years? It's my favorite.
It's my total favorite.
It's my tone.
So I won't say who I was talking to, but it was kind of funny because they were like, Metal Zone is the #1 selling Boss pedal of all time.
I don't doubt it.
I was shocked.
No, I really don't doubt it. I mean, there's a lot of people that actually really do love it, but I think a lot of those guys, and I don't mean this come across arrogant. That platform can actually be pretty good.
The EQ section's really cool.
Yeah. So and you said you said you have a metal zone that's been modified into a fuzz.
Yes.
And I recently did some videos on how to turn it into an overdrive or just an EQ pedal, and there's a bunch of cool things you can actually do with that.
Yeah.
I think there's just a couple of small changes that I would have done differently to make it sound good, and I get a lot of crap for giving the metal zone so much grief.
Yeah, I do too. And to be fair, there's a guy in my Facebook group. His name's Jason. He uses one sometimes, and I was like, okay, you make it sound pretty good. It's stock, I think. And so how do you do it? And it's basically keep the gain below noon, and adjust the EQ appropriately, and it does pretty good. So I'll continue to make fun of it because it's easy.
It's an easy target. I mean, the catchphrase I've been using on our new amps is this makes every pedal sound good, even a metal zone.
Yes.
So hopefully I don't get a cease and desist.
Oh boy. Well, you didn't say it was who it was made by.
I didn't say the metal zone is bad to begin with. I just said it makes even a metal zone sound good.
So
I'm really not saying anything bad.
I don't know what you even mean by that, Brian.
I'm saying it makes the metal zone sound even better.
It sounds so delicious. But yeah, the Boss area up there is actually really cool, and I was kind of impressed. I was always they got those Blues Cube combos and stuff that come out. Have you seen those?
Yes.
Yeah, I was kind of whatever. And maybe it was the player that was playing up there because he was really good, but I was like, ooh, that sounds surprisingly good. I'm like, maybe he's just that good.
Was it Pete Thorn or something?
It wasn't Pete Thorn.
All right, it's Pete Thorn. He's gonna make. I told him yesterday. I said, I was talking to the 60 Cycle Hum guys.
Yeah.
we were actually asking where you were, and I'm like, I don't know what Blake is, but anyway, so we were all talking about Pete Thorn, about how he makes everything sound good, and up walks Pete Thorn. I'm like, what a coincidence! We were just talking about how you could like put a rubber band on a toothpick and it would sound freaking amazing.
Yeah, that's him. Totally. Yeah, Pete kills it. I don't know how he does. I don't understand people who can do that. Like, I have listened to pedal demos and went to the store and like, this thing sounded great, and it's gonna fix my tone. Plugged it in, I'm like, I'm ruining this pedal.
I don't sound like Pete Thorn.
No, I
don't get it.
I don't sound like Pete Thorn. I'm trying so hard. Yeah, good times, good times. Oh, I'm trying to think of some other stuff I seen that was cool. The ZVEX stuff was pretty intriguing. He made this this mic. It's like a, I don't know what the word for it, what he called it, but it's almost like a proximity mic where you have to be really, really close, and if you're not, it doesn't pick up anything. But when you get close and like right up on it, it picks up everything. And so he was kind of making it for like vocalists, I think, to like use like a lot of effects and like a lot of dirt.
Right.
If no one's yelling into it, like basically with their mouth on it, then it doesn't make sound.
Huh.
So you could have it on a super loud stage. It's not going to be picking up and feeding back from everything.
But isn't it great big though? Like,
the mic itself is probably like about the size of a golf ball, but the hoop that is surrounding it is probably like one of them cannonball watermelons or something. Like,
what's a cannonball watermelon?
One of them personal ones. You ever seen those?
No.
They're
Is that an Oregon thing?
Could be. I don't know.
I've never seen a cannonball water.
So
is it like a 10-inch pizza?
That's small, a little smaller than that.
Okay, so it's like a personal 8-inch pizza.
Like an 8-inch pizza.
Okay,
yeah.
That makes sense.
You never seen a personal watermelon?
No, but
it's like for one guy to sit down and eat a watermelon, and that's your own personal watermelon.
I'm pretty sure that's a GMO food.
Who's Jamo? I don't know what that means.
Who's Jamo, and what's he got to do with food?
Yeah. It very well could be. But then if that's the case, it's probably not an Oregon thing. Because you know how we feel about some of that stuff.
As you should, but that's a different podcast.
Not me, actually. I eat whatever.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, you gotta be careful of that GMO stuff.
I want to be growing heads.
Be growing like 3 feet and 4 arms. Of course, then
I was gonna say.
Then you could run really fast and play a really fast guitar.
Think about
lots
like
of finger tapping.
Oh man, think about if I had 3 feet, I could stomp on the pedals. I wouldn't need no true bypass looper to. I could just go. It would be wonderful. It'd be a wonderful experience.
That is true.
Oh, Brian. I feel like there was something else I wanted to bring up for this, but I don't remember what it was.
Well,
oh yes.
Huh?
We didn't bring up the fact that, like, probably on the last podcast we recorded, we talked about the need for hand sanitizer.
Yes, and how it would be funny if someone came out with branded hand sanitizer for NAMM.
That was like, what, like 2 or 3 weeks ago?
That was 2 or 3 weeks ago. Just enough time to contact a company to come out with Wampler branded hand sanitizer.
Oh, man, do you have a bottle on you so we can read off what it says?
I do. So, let's see. It says boutique. Well, it says, of course, the logo, Wampler.
Mm-hmm.
Then boutique custom hand sanitizer. I have really bad eyes because I'm getting old.
Right.
Making your hands as pure as your tone since 2017.
I was laughing really hard about that. My wife's like, "You're such a dork." Like, it's funny. It's funny.
You'd be. I've actually had one of the podcast listeners come up, and he brought me a thing of hand sanitizer.
Oh, really? You warn everybody you're going to have a gallon jug. Well, that's so nice of him, though.
That was cool. It was funny.
He didn't bring me any. I guess he's not concerned with my well-being.
Well, you weren't around. You're out eating pizza or whatever.
I was eating pizza. I ate pizza. Shout out to Sinusoid for providing the Tone Mob pizza party. It was great. Thanks, guys.
I didn't remember what I did. Man, it's been a blur of activity this week.
I think you were probably like doing like business stuff and like maybe talking to people who were important.
A lot of meetings.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing about NAMM. I mean, I remember I used to come like as just a guest. You know, I didn't have a booth, is what I mean.
Yeah, just coming to check things out.
Yeah, and that was actually really cool. You can kind of walk slow, take your time, really look at stuff. But now I'm tied to a booth, and it's kind of like having like a ball and chain.
Yep.
So, you know, you get a little bit away from the booth. I'm like, Brian, come here. You got to do this
Don't talk about Amanda that way.
But I don't get a chance to really go out and look at stuff like I used to. So it's really hard.
Yeah.
You know? And then plus after you get done, then you have meetings with, you know, retailers or distributors or whoever. And And so it's just, we get in about midnight, drink a beer or two, go to bed, sleep 6 hours, get up and do it all over again.
Yeah.
Which is what, so, and then I'm losing my voice, which is why I sound,
same.
like a 7 foot tall, mature man.
Hello.
Yeah.
No, and this year I can actually, so last year, this is only my second year at NAMM. I can relate to that this year. Last year I was just kind of like, let's go see stuff. And I just walked around and seen everything. This year, I'm like, okay, I probably missed all kinds of stuff because I'm like, I got to go to this booth and see this person, like tunnel vision.
Right.
And then I got to go to this booth and see this person. And so I've just totally ignored some things that were probably really cool. I got to go see this guy. And then I had meetings and things too this year, which was a new weird thing for me to have to go do. And I didn't mind. They were fine. It was just like, I have to go do meetings.
Wait, this is actually more like work.
It's like I have to go talk about business and stuff. I can't just go like, "Hey Brian, what about fuzz?" Blah!
Do you care if I play on every pedal for a while?
Yeah. No, I actually have to go and like do things. And there were some guys, the Gear Slum guys, and they put on a little event with Sinusoid also yesterday, and I was like, "Where are you at?" I'm like, "I'm in a meeting." And so I just got out of the meeting and I booked it over, so I was able to make it in time. But it was one of those things like, I'm not experiencing the NAMM like I used to. And it's only the second year.
You'll see it changes every year. I think this is 7th or 8th year. 8th year? These are 8th year?
Right.
Maybe 9th. Yeah, 8th year.
Do you always do summer and winter?
Yeah.
Have you done it since the beginning? Since you started going to NAMM, basically?
My first NAMM was a summer NAMM in Nashville. And then we didn't go to Winter NAMM at all. Because I don't remember if I was broke. I was probably broke. Ran out of money. And then the next year we did Summer NAMM again. And then the next year we did Winter NAMM.
Okay.
We walked.
Just walk around, yeah.
Yeah. So, and I don't remember, like, somewhere along the lines, like, all right, let's take a chance and do Winter NAMM.
Right.
And ever since then we've done winter and summer.
Do you, as I get this question a lot from people, and depending on what their financial situation is or what their goals are, I always have different things to say. But a lot of guys go, I don't know if I should go to NAMM or not. And I'm like,
people own businesses?
Yeah, a lot of gear companies, and sometimes it's like, some people even go, well, is it worth it as a manufacturer just to walk around? I don't really know as a manufacturer. I know as like sort of a media / marketing relationship dude, it is always worth it to walk around.
It can be if it really depends on if you're working in it or not. I mean, like, NAMM can be really good or it can be really bad. And I think it depends on the person. Like, if you're kind of a hustler and you're like, okay, here's the people I want to see. Here's the companies. Here's the people I need to talk to. I want to ask them about this, and this. I mean, like, if you look at it like it's going for business, then you can get a lot out of it, even if you don't, even if you aren't an exhibitor. But if you're just like, well, if I bump into someone, cool. If I don't, cool. Then that's kind of like rolling the dice. I mean, you may bump into John Mayer, and he may say, sure, I'll play your pedal. I mean, it could happen.
It could.
But you're likely to get much more out of it if you just approach it like like you would any business. There's conventions of all types. So whether it's maybe you sell concrete for a living or something, I'm sure there's a concrete convention somewhere.
Oh, totally.
Or like my favorite example, gravel. Just because where I live, like, there's a big gravel company, and apparently there's a lot of money in selling gravel, and I had no idea.
Well, everyone needs gravel.
Well, I mean, but can you imagine how boring that would be? Like, really, can you imagine going to a convention where there's just all types of gravel and people discussing how you can use gravel in new ways, and we found a new type of rock in Arkansas.
Well, see,
it's a new gravel coming out in 2017.
I've thought about that before, but I've been to some other conventions that were definitely not things I was interested in. Some like water treatment things and things like that.
That's true for your
And I was just like, this is so boring, but there were so many people that are like fired up about it, like we get about these things. So it's like, I think that like most of the people who throw or go to any convention, 60% of them are going to be really into it. And on the flip side, there was a company that I did some work for that had a guy kind of trying to do strategy type things, and he had no interest or knowledge of the pedal industry or the gear industry at all. And
I think that's being a little ill-prepared.
Yeah, and it didn't work out so well because he didn't. I mean, he was good at his job as far as that goes, but if you don't know what a distortion does, how can you talk about it?
So a delay. What does it do?
Yeah, no, seriously. Like, I mean, wasn't his thing. He came from another place, so.
I want to check YouTube first. On the plane? I guess you can't get on YouTube on the plane, but yeah. I mean, maybe when you're sitting in your hotel, first night.
Yeah, but I think for him, this industry was just as interesting as
us going to gravel.
Yep, as us going to gravel. So it was like, if you had to make me learn gravel, I would learn it, but my eyes would glaze over.
Right.
It's
I
kind
can
of weird.
understand that because my wife feels that way about this.
Well, she puts on a good show.
We've been doing this for a while, so there's a lot of people that we've kind of became friends with, so it's good to see those people.
Yeah.
But if you go up to her and like, so, what's your favorite delay? She's going, I don't care.
The one that pays my mortgage.
Yeah, I'm not really into delays but I mean, she knows all this stuff. She's like, well, I know the faux tape echo is using a PT2399. So you might like that. It's kind of like an old tape echo type thing. Yes, I mean she's been around it so much, yeah. But I mean, if you give her a guitar, she'd be like, I don't know. Yeah, banga 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 banga, open strings.
If you're open tuning in a slide, maybe.
That's true.
She could do some pedal demos.
Here, hold this slide in this hand, just move it around some.
You'll be fine. It's that easy, right?
It's totally that easy.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Brian, this is a little bit shorter than what you're used to, but we've pulled you away from the booth for a little while.
Sure.
So we probably should let you get back, and I appreciate doing another segment of Chasing Tone with you while holding this phone awkwardly and staring into your eyes.
In other words, my arm is exhausted.
I've switched arms a couple times. Hopefully that wasn't audible. But anyway,
right,
so if you hear a bunch of racket in the background, that is because we were in a random side hall at NAMM. And doing the best we can.
And it's literally the quietest hall here. Quietest hall.
It's surprisingly quiet, actually. But listen to that. I wonder if they could hear that.
I don't know, but that's my jam, man. I feel like just shuffling my feet.
All right, Brian. I'll talk to you probably next week
when
we've recovered.
All right. We'll see you.
Bye.
So thank you so much for listening to the Chasing Tone podcast. I really appreciate it. If you have any questions or comments, you can email me at podcast@wamplerpedals.com. You can email Blake at info@tonemob.com. You can also check us both out on Facebook. We both have groups. Ours is the Wampler Pedals Tone Group. Blake's is the Tone Mob, I believe. And so if you have any questions or comments, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. Let us know. There is no dumb questions, so we love getting comments and questions. And if you would like to leave a review for this podcast, we'd really appreciate it. Just simply go to iTunes, leave a hopefully good review, and we really appreciate that. It helps more people become aware of us and helps us continue to do this. So thanks a lot for listening, and we'll talk to you next week.